I look forward to next year and all the events that we could plan. It's going to be an exciting time, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Green. And we'll go to our guest in the room.
Oh, okay. I'm Deborah Capone, supervising librarian at the Bladensburg Branch Library, and very glad to be invited to participate as well. It's always great to work with the town.
Thank you, Mrs. Capone. So, and you guys know us, the town staff, so we won't waste your time with our introductions. But first, I want to just kick things off by thanking you for your participation today. Next year marks the nation's semi-quincentennial celebration. And so I had the honor of being appointed to the Maryland 250 Commission by Governor Moore. And we on the commission have been really encouraging communities and counties and municipalities to plan celebrations and show up in a way that is meaningful and inclusive, to share our stories, our collective history. And oh, wonderful, Megan's here. How are you? Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So we also had Megan Bacco join us from ACTA, Anacostia Trails Heritage Association. Feel free to grab lunch. We'll make it a working lunch.
Oh, great.
Just a small thank you for taking the time to join us. So we just did quick introductions, and then I just shared that I was part of the Maryland 250 Commission and part of what we've been tasked with. I also sit on the civics working group. And so within that, one of our big initiatives is encouraging communities to have civics academies to help residents understand how their government runs, how the staff function in collaboration with the elected officials, and just improve civic education. I've drafted a curriculum and circulated that to the council and staff last week. They're giving me some input so we can modify that and clean it up, and then launch a civics academy in January post holidays for about 6 to 7 weeks. And so we'll definitely keep this group aware of the progress there. But that is just one example. The goal is to run 2 cohorts next year, and then have many celebrations at the end of each of those sessions. But then at our big fireworks and Independence Day celebration, to celebrate those individuals in front of the entire community and their accomplishment in completing the academy. So that was just one example, but there are so many other ways that I feel like we can engage our community. And so we've got the school communities represented here with Mrs. Borsico. We've got our patriotic hat on, thanks to Miss Green. We've got education and literacy through Mrs. Capone. And then Megan, who sits on also the Prince George's County Commission and has been very instrumental in that. So just wanted to start a more localized effort. And not that we have to do 30 things, I'm not at all suggesting that. But if we can come up with 1 or 2 or maybe 3 that are impactful for 2026, then we can really leverage our resources, get the students involved, the business community, residents, and really have an impact and have some lasting education for 2026. At least that is my hope. So with that, I will shut up and turn it over to this group to share some ideas. Megan, if you want to kick us off, because you have the ties to the county group, that could be helpful as well.
Sure. So thank you for having me, and I apologize for being a little bit late. My name is Megan Bacco. I'm the executive director of Anacostia Trails Heritage Area. For over a year now, just over a year, in partnership with PG Parks and the Memorial Library System, we've been convening PGC 250. So many of your colleagues have been Hannah and Nectar, Dan. And that has really served to be a really great, those 3 organizations coming together have been really great. They bring different things to the table of capacity and expertise in different areas. So I encourage everybody to look out for pgc250.org and attend the meetings. We try and do them in a hybrid manner as well. That's been really helpful. And you know, we're not turning people away from the meeting. We are still sort of trying to, I can't sure if the snowball is gathering snow or if we're still pushing the boulder up the hill a little bit. But we continue to encourage and see more people on the Zoom and in person. And so that's been really good to see. I think it's beginning to hit the minds of people who don't do this every day for a living, right? If you're not a historian and you don't like, you know, keep an eye on some of these anniversaries, I think we're kind of getting to that point. So I'm happy to see it also, you know, continuing to be sustained here as well. So we meet monthly, and I think we have 3 major initiatives that are going to be public facing. So one is on May 30th in Bowie, our group is going to host sort of a public event in that area of the Bowie Branch Library and the parking lot with the Performing Arts Center. And that's scheduled for May 30th. The reason we did that is we know we're not going to necessarily compete with fireworks and other events that people especially might be going to DC for and things like that. And that's going to be kind of historical, cultural, going to have activities and performers and things like that. The other thing we're doing leading up to the semi-quincentennial is a bike ride with some partners in Southern Maryland from the Oxon Hill Bike Club. And they're going to be bringing us through, I think it's a 20 mile ride, maybe like 20 to 40 miles. Maybe we'll do 2 different rides, but just knowing the trail system and how lots of people are, you know, we've got a really active biking community throughout the whole county and into Southern Maryland. And so we're going to be doing that, and it's going to stop at a couple historic sites, maybe a library or 2 for a pit stop. And we've just picked up a really great partner on that to help us with the route, to make sure that it's like appropriate for certain levels, so we don't have somebody doing some crazy hill that they're not ready for.
Brendan, feel free to grab food. It's a working lunch.
The date for that, I think, is going to be in September. And then the other thing we're working on is a genealogical kind of hybrid workshop training series. So right now it's going to be like a genealogy 101 that's going to be taught sort of in unison with the Prince George's County Genealogical Society and the Prince George's chapter of the Afro-American Genealogical Society. And representatives from both of those groups have been coming to our meetings. So we're going to do like a 101 and then 2 other sessions, one focused on Revolutionary War genealogy and one focused on Black history genealogy. And then we'll also have an in-person sort of bus tour of all the sort of archives that people can continue their personal research. So we're trying to hook people sort of hybrid if you're interested, and then hopefully do like a in-person bus tour. So, and all of these events will be free. And the genealogy tour will start in January, February, and then the in-person event will be in March. And we're looking for funding for the bus and whatnot. So those are the 3 like events. Otherwise, we're meeting monthly, and there's a lot of those organizations I mentioned are all doing their own things, but we decided as like a group that those seem to like sort of tick some boxes for the goals that hit everybody's group. And then there's, you know, all sorts of different lectures and events and programs. And we've been encouraging people in the group to make sure that they're submitting that to Maryland 250 and not our own calendar, because we want to be in charge of the calendar. People have heard me talk about it, and I've said that before. But that's really what the Maryland 250 calendar is for. So I really think that's where we should be pushing it, or other calendars that have an existing wider audience, the library calendar, if at all possible. I know it depends if you're partnering with it or whatever. But I'd say those are sort of the overview of what we've been working on.
I was just making, I know that I've been to a couple of the meetings, but I was gonna say is that also Prince George's, park and planning has been really doing a big portion, and I know they have a whole set of programming as well. And they were talking about some kind of a punch card or some kind of a thing for the people when they for historic purposes, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Which we can kind of also kind of dig into, but I didn't want, but you did an awesome job of.
Oh, was that too much? Okay.
No, great
Okay,
job of the
right.
overview.
Okay.
No, it was
Yeah,
great.
they are
That's
doing
yours.
a passport.
Are they are gonna stick to the passport?
They're doing a passport,
Okay.
and I am nearly positive that Waterfront Park would be on it. I don't necessarily think they did spots that weren't staffed. So I don't think like Bostwick would be on there, but I'm pretty sure Waterfront Park would be and all the other MNC PBC sites in the county. And yes, they've been our major partner, especially on the May 30th event. And they're also gonna have like, I think PG Park / 250, they're gonna have a 250 landing page on their main page and also a tag in Parks Direct. So anything at any of their properties related to 250, I think people might start to be like, oh, okay, there's a whole year-round sort of celebration and how are people gonna tap into it? And I think that Kevin Cabrera has been our main contact on that too.
Yeah.
I don't think that is live yet, but to your point, that'll all be on PG
Yeah.
Parks as well.
I think, I just wanted to mention it because it's such a, since in some ways, if we're talking about the county and we're talking about things that are going on, I just think it's one of those things that just to keep everybody aware of. And what I would just, the reason why I asked Ray to record is that so that we can start to kind of memorialize these meetings, put them on our website so that we can start tracking them. And then that way people can, if people are interested and they want to hear about what's going on, we can get people to do that. So thank you. I just wanted to mention it because I thought it was a pretty nice idea about the passport.
And then we had another person join us. So Brendan, do you mind doing a quick introduction?
So Brendan Quinn, I'm the president owner of Ernest Mayer across the street. And we'll be celebrating our 100th year next
I was
year.
waiting to bring that up.
Really?
So we have new logos and everything, so
Really?
it sounds like I'll be sponsoring something.
Sure, like how you think, Brendan.
The first branded stuff will be at the Hyattsville Arts Festival. It's gonna be beer koozies, because that's appropriate for how I live my life.
Work-life balance, maybe?
Yeah.
Mhm. But Brenda's been a tremendous partner over the years, so we appreciate you taking the
Yeah.
time and,
And we're
Going-
redoing the top of the plan.
oh,
We're gonna figure out, there'll be some around the 100th year of Ernest Mayer, that we'll have one of those signs on the side of it.
So for banners, like if we can
Yeah.
do something, that would be really nice to call out
Yeah.
Ernest Mayer.
I mean, yeah, we've been doing the street banners around the town, so we could probably, we can probably implement that. We just have to get permission on,
As a.
or, yeah, because we have to own the fire, we have to own the poles because we can't use the utility poles anymore. Ones that are Pepco's,
Mhm.
so we have to, but we can find something, figure out.
A way around it, but it would be nice just visibly to have something along Annapolis Road highlighting that. And the 250th, quite frankly, so.
Yeah.
It was perfect time, and then, Ernest Mayer, oldest business in Bladensburg, the longest running at least,
Longest
for sure, so, definitely big.
Mhm. So we heard a lot of good things that are happening with the Prince George's Commission, and so if that spurred any sort of thoughts or ideas, or if you have other ideas that may have been sparked, we'd be happy to hear those. I will tell you, the passport idea I thought would be really interesting because of all the history in town. And if there's a way to make it accessible so that if someone's not at Bostwick, it's an audio tour or, something that could be produced online. And mainly because Professor McElrath from University of Maryland did an amazing job at our Black History Month program and really talking about Black history as it relates to the town and other localized history. I feel like we'd have a great partner in University of Maryland in curating content and developing some sort of tour with maybe it's QR codes that are existing and established with the help of Public Works in certain places or installed. And you just scan it and then you go to the website and here's how the tour is done. I noticed Rockville has something similar. So that was one thought. I love cycling, and so the moment I heard the county commission go bike ride in Southern Maryland, I'm going, what the heck? We've got the best trail ever right here. Hello, people. So
We're happy to partner on another bike ride as well. We could do something like even DC to play, something.
yeah, because of the connectivity,
Mhm.
we could even, start it at the Capitol, let's say, and work our way here
To the new ice cream shop.
the battle. That.
Believe me, Mike would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
At Franklin's.
Mhm.
Yep.
there you go.
Yeah,
You know?
and it is, I don't eat a lot of ice cream, but he let me sample like 8 flavors.
Okay,
It's insane.
really?
Yeah.
Hey.
I was there for Portuguese and then hopefully
I guess
I said, we get ice cream.
Mark used to work at a Friendlies and he was a kid, the
Wow.
GM, and he like is obsessed with ice cream.
Oh.
So he makes it, it's good.
I'm not that was the.
I can go over there and get ice cream and coffee now.
Mhm.
I was gonna ask the other, Renee, you, I know that you did some recording at Boswick, when we did the event in May with Don Linebaugh. I wonder if we can, I don't know if he gave permission for that footage, but is there enough footage that we can share in regards to the house? Or
Yeah,
the
I
event?
I think that would be an excellent idea. So yeah, I'd be more than happy to share that, and you can, use that, like the mayor was saying, that even if they're not there, maybe they can kind of click on something and look at it or whatever. So yeah, I would have that available.
That would be great. So maybe what we can do is, we can, it's a lot for staff, but maybe what we can do is kind of figure out like some video, like try to save some of the video that we do have.
And it may be easier than we think. I'll invite the professor who's on the commission and Dr. McElrath to the next meeting.
Okay.
And that way they can tell us, I mean, heck, if they've got students, maybe this could be a student project.
Yeah.
And we make a donation to the history program
That's what
or
I'm
something
thinking,
to cover it, and then it's not more work on
I
staff.
was gonna say we could pay somebody just to edit it, and put it
Mhm.
together. And then remember, Ray, we met with those people for the social media stuff at Joe's Movement. Maybe that's a good project for them. Cause that is cause they have social media interns that do those kinds of things, and maybe what we can do is have them to, pay them for a project versus having them on, but for this, we could do it for something like this, so. It's not a, and then I know that, Regina was talking about another intern that we could get that would work on this, so I think there's some opportunities, but if we have available footage, right, Renee, that would be great, because I know that we did do some footage of that event, and maybe we can do some interviews, and kind of have that and put together something, but not Ray.
Right.
Okay.
Protect your Ray.
That would be perfect. And of course, I'm really into film. I'm into, films and so forth. So, I mean, I think taking advantage of the library system and maybe showing some films, or like there are some really great, if you were to look at for even children, K through 5th or 6th grade, there are some great patriotic cartoons. And a lot of wonderful films that could be, just part of just a thought.
Mhm. And that's really good, because kids are so visual that you would capture them in a different way from saying, hey, let's read a book together. And sometimes you have to get them with the visual to get them to follow up with reading more, from a book or something else.
Yeah, the Star Spangled Adventures has an incredible program that they have that goes through a lot of history, and they're just small little cartoons that are about 15 minutes a piece. But they talk about the independence. They talk about I'll send a link so that you can see what some of them are. But they're fantastic. Like talking about the there's like the Tea Party, that that why there was this Star Spangled Adventures, even Fort McHenry and different stuff like that. All the little battles and so forth.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
Mrs. Lepong, any thoughts or suggestions?
Well, I'm thinking, of course, first and foremost, we have space now, a nice space for things like Ms. Green was suggesting, and access to Canopy, which also has some good content for that. And my colleagues that Megan was talking about have been kind of reaching out to branches to try to develop things that, as we have initiatives, at different times of year that definitely fit into the 250 stuff. So Norman and Lorraine are thinking of things for social equity commons to do so yes, and definitely our calendar will be included. I'm sure that we'll be considered a partner for anything that 250 org does, so that it will be on that calendar for the library as well. But yeah, I haven't really thought about individual stuff at the library yet, but we do have space and especially this far in advance, we can make sure.
Perfect. Mrs. Borsico, from the education perspective, with your seat and hat on, any responses or feedback or additional suggestions you can think of?
Yeah, no, everything sounds great. I mean, it really is exciting. I would, just from my perspective of being here, I incorporate the students as much as possible where we can, just because it's not only exciting for them, but it's also a learning experience, and they can in turn impart, what they're absorbing, back to the community and back to those who are leading this initiative. I think that their fresh perspectives is so important, and the fact that they can be a part of something so great is super important as well. So just involving them in any aspects, whether it be, singing the Star Spangled Banner, or in Bowie, for example, if there's any way that we have tons of students who might be able to help with that initiative. Of course, any Bladensburg initiatives that we do here, we can definitely incorporate them. I just think that they can be such a huge catalyst in helping to just getting the excitement out there, getting the history lessons out there, and getting word that we're excited about about what we're celebrating in the past and what our future is going to bring. So just everything sounds great, and we're excited to be a part of it.
Thank you for that feedback. And just a follow-up question. Do you think we might be able to get participation in this group from one of the history teachers at Seton? And the reason I ask is because then they can spread the information to other history teachers, feed us some ideas or things that you all may be doing that we can tag into to promote the efforts of the group.
Absolutely.
And then the second follow-up question is, because we're talking about launching the Civics Academy in 2026, do you think the history teachers would be open to giving students extra credit if they went through the academy and completed the 6 to 7 week course?
I can ask. I think that's a wonderful idea. I certainly can ask that question. But I think that's a great idea.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for talking with my mouth full.
Mayor, how do you feel about, when we create the course, to create it as an online course as well? Like to put up the recorded, and then kind of have some things so that people can then, that way it's in, then we have quizzes or whatever. And then once you take the quizzes, we will, not Ray. Somebody will send the people a certificate that would say you completed the the Bladensburg civics, the 250 civics course, thank you, whatever, some kind of thing that you get it, and you actually, and we award them at a town council meeting. But to have a period of time where people can, where we have the in-person, but like for the students, if they do complete it, that we could put it on a site where they could access it, take a quiz, and then it's just really short quizzes, but to say that they've taken it, they understood it, and just acknowledge it.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking about, if once we did the first 2 cohorts, to think about how you could flip it to digital, because I don't want to take on too much at the beginning.
We have that Power DMS program that police has for training, and then that.
So it could be rolled into that.
You could use it on that, yeah. So I mean, in the past, that's what you can use. You can just put up online, you can put up, PowerPoints and online stuff, and it would just, then it plays it, and then the people take it, and you take the class. So
Really good idea.
yeah, I'm just thinking that might be good to kind of do, and then we could also figure out if we can get it translated into Spanish. Because I think the materials probably would show, that would help for people to kind of understand something, I mean, I think that's something that we would need is some, if in the community, maybe, if you maybe can help us, or if anybody in the library can maybe help us, if they could, if we had a script that they could do it in Spanish, that would be amazing, because I think that would be helpful to our residents here to kind of make it more inclusive, that it's offered in English and Spanish.
Really, English, Spanish, and
And
French,
French,
because
yeah,
I'm
if we
getting
can
the
get French
complaints
too,
that
yeah.
we always translate to Spanish,
But we
but
don't
not French.
French, yeah, but I just think, you know, most basically, we don't do this in English right now, but yeah, you're right, French is too, I don't know, but if anybody, if I could find anybody who would be willing to do it, I think that'd be helpful.
You just need an editor, you just
Yeah.
feed it into ChatGPT,
That's true,
and
Mhm.
then you just need somebody who can.
To read it.
To conversational.
yeah,
That's
I need
true.
somebody, who can read it in conversational wise, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But it's
I mean, after you did it for Spanish and French, I could have employees for me.
okay.
Okay,
Because I've got, one employee and he's fluent in French.
okay,
He's out of Notre Dame, but if I send it to him, he'll read it.
okay,
And then I have plenty of employees that are, fluent in Spanish.
yeah, it's like, you're right, I mean, I could go, I mean, we could
Because
just,
it's more about, what I would say to them is, would your parents be able to read this?
right,
Or is this too academic?
right,
Or idiomatic, yeah,
Yeah.
GPT is interesting, and some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know we're doing that in masonry now, is that we're creating our own AI, but it's really about how does a supervisor converse with
Right.
a person who doesn't speak English?
yeah, right,
So now you can speak into George, which is an app on a
Yeah.
phone, and it just, within 10 seconds, tells the person exactly what you said.
exactly. No, I mean, I think you're right, there's a lot that we could do probably with some AI, not necessarily all chat, but we could do something to could do this, so I'm thinking this technology, looking at it, and if people wanna, you know, as far as a subcommittee to work through that,
Yeah,
that would be a good subcommittee.
because I think doing that initial session
Most of it's.
will help inform Michelle, like what edits or tweaks need to be made.
Right,
And then for
Then-
session two, we can say, okay, we've corrected what didn't land so well for
Right.
session two, and then use that for the purpose of translation.
right. No, I was saying, once you've done it once, we could then take that portion and then kind of condense it into the online course, because we could, you know what you've done well, you know what you haven't done well, and what went over, and what are the key things that we wanna get across. Yeah, excellent. That door
Sorry,
is
it's an old building. You see, none of us flinch, right?
So you mentioned that, yeah, the curriculum that you've already developed it's pretty much, is it Bladensburg centric? It's a.
It is, that's the goal, to help stakeholders or people from the community to understand, one, how the community government operates. So starting with taking them through federal, how that translates to state, county, and then local, and then picking it up from local to say, so basically, everything is governed from the charter. Walking them through key areas of the charter and what it means, because most people don't even know in the community. And then talking about our form of government, and then how that works with the staff and the different departments. And then just building on that, there's, the next section is for the staff to really have two different classes where they talk about the administration. How does the money come in? How is the money spent? What is the staff role in that, from finance to Michelle, kind of being having oversight over the areas of the town, and talking about public works and what exactly their functions are versus the clerk, versus what Ray does. And then coming back with a session solely on public safety, so having our fire department and police department walk the residents through that. I put time in there for a field trip, if you will. Most people have never seen the jail next door. So we want to take folks over there to see this tiny little Bayberry looking jail, and then take them to the fire department. Most folks have never been inside the firehouse, so it's really to connect people. And then once we've walked them through how the council works, what our job is, what the jobs are of staff, then the next course is, now you've got to practice what you preach, and we're going to have attendees run a mock council meeting. So the mayor, the council, we'll walk them through how to pass an ordinance, which is our laws. We'll walk them through how to approve the meeting agenda. They don't know this, but how to deal with public comment. And so I'll be an angry resident who is just disgruntled because I'm just bitter about life, and how you manage that. in a professional way and don't take it personally to understand, okay, Miss James, we hear you, we will follow up with your concern versus having a combative kind of relationship. So we want to go through all of that. I wrote in there some space for quizzes on the various sections, but the whole point is to make it fun, informative, but engaging and just not dry. People have been at work all day, so they don't want to just come and listen to us, go on for 2 hours. So that's sort of the idea.
And we get to go to a work meeting too.
It abbreviated. So that's sort of the thought process behind it. But again, the whole goal is to make what Bladensburg does inclusive of the business community, the education community and our partners on the nonprofit side. So we can put together, again, not trying to do 20 events, but if we can do 1 to 3 things and do them well in 2026 and engage our partners from the Prince George's Commission, the Maryland State Commission, and even other towns, like the port towns as an example, I think we'll all be pleased at the end of the year in what we've accomplished and how we've made the community feel more connected, especially at a time right now where people are feeling so disconnected.
And fearful.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
For good reason.
Oh, I think that's great. So, Mayor, it's open discussion time, right? Are you going to other potential community events or programming? Is that where you are?
So let's, yeah, run.
I'll just say, everybody bookmark their calendars next year. The fireworks event will be on Thursday, July 2nd.
Second. The second.
Mhm.
Because we're trying to be one of the first so that we're not competing with everybody.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be a big,
Yeah, the 4th is gonna be crazy. And
That's
right
exciting.
now, we have Governor Morris confirmed to be here, so knock on wood, nothing comes up to change that. But because of that, it's the fireworks is always a fun festival time, but we do want to infuse elements of the celebration into that event. And so if you can be thinking about ways to do that, as Mrs. Corsico mentioned, if it's the students, the choir singing the national anthem before we launch the fireworks, or opening things up with students reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, and then maybe they talk a little bit about what it means to them. We want it to be fun, engaging, but not feel like the exact same thing that we did in 2025 at that event.
Can you repeat that date one more time, Mr.
July
Jeffries?
2nd.
July 2nd,
Yeah.
2026?
Mm-hmm.
And you said,
It's a Thursday.
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 yeah, it's a Thursday.
Yeah, we're starting.
I thought
We're
you said
starting.
Saturday. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
we're-
Saturday is the
Yeah,
4th."
yeah.
That's, we're trying to start because of the fact that it's sometimes you get all the competition and things like that. We're trying to start early.
Right?
Yeah.
No,
Brendan does his own DC fireworks and sleigh. Can't compete.
And it's a 100th anniversary. You have to do a fireworks.
That's right.
On top of the building.
Fireworks are- It's going on during the day.
Maybe there's a way we could customize one, like,
Oh,
congratulations to Ernest Mayor celebrating
I don't know.
100 years or
Get the
something.
drones.
well, they're doing the drones now. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I've been looking into that for years.
Yeah.
Incorporated drones, but
Mhm.
It's tougher out there.
It's
yeah.
different here because you have
No flies.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're so close to the district.
Yeah, so no flies on. You can't do it here.
Mhm.
I've tried to get like drone footage of the trails and stuff, and it's been.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah, it's been.
But we can do fireworks, so you can just shoot up stuff in the air.
That was an administration that's different than what we have now, and maybe now it'll be easier. Some rules are relaxed, so it might be a good time to explore that. Yeah. Just saying, I don't know.
Yeah, you could, because we had to ask when we got one years back and Weaver said no.
Mm-hmm,
But a lot of those restrictions have been relaxed a bit,
mm-hmm,
but it's, because we just wanted it for the roofs.
Right.
We're gonna have somebody send it up to look at the roofs.
Right,
You know,
just-
like
yeah,
insurance
just-
companies
Yeah.
will do that,
yeah.
and they're like, nah, we'll shoot it down. I was like, yeah, shoot it down.
I will
Well,
say,
they
I
won't
won't tell
work.
you
They're not,
how.
they're not supposed to work. They're not supposed to work here.
Well, we had drone footage here for community stuff and they haven't been shot down, so.
No, I mean,
You do it.
I have pictures from a guy who was selling me when
Yeah.
he had obviously put a drone up in the
Right.
air.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I have pictures of our plant and everything that I had to buy.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
It's interesting.
It's a
Yeah.
thought, definitely a thought. And that could be an elevated experience for next year, like at one interval, the drones, and then at another interval, fireworks. But I'm thinking budget, the budget, I know, the budget.
For
The
that
budget.
big, for that big sponsorship now, Mayor.
Yeah.
Everybody will have a spare 100 shirts on.
I'm okay with that.
We've already talked about the fact that we will allow logos on the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
We will do that, or not, or in the front, wherever you want.
Because that's the whole goal too. It helps with brand visibility for the businesses. A lot of our residents don't even know you guys are there because they're so sucked into their day-to-day grind.
It's in a hole.
Yeah,
It's always been,
yeah,
well, people have figured it out now because everybody in the city sold their real estate and closed down. So real estate was worth more than a, business.
mhm,
So now we're probably the closest non-home, Home
Right.
Depot or Lowe's.
yeah. Sure.
And business is ever since the supposed stop in DC, it's amazing how many more contractors are in our yard.
Yeah.
Because most of the guys who work for my customer, who wouldn't go in DC smartly.
That's good.
That's
Good to
good.
know. Mhm. That's, so from the economic development side, we need to
Yeah,
have Jared highlighting.
yeah, yeah, that sounds good.
All right, well, I won't keep everyone, I appreciate the ideas and want to be respectful of everyone's time. Some folks have 1 o'clocks, but this was really good to get things off the ground. In terms of getting back together, what would you say, 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from
Yeah, in
now?
October sometime, early to mid-October, if that works for everyone. And then, and does this time work lunchtime?
That's fun.
Okay.
Okay.
And I shouldn't say crazy social media person, but she's nuts. If you want to start, 80% of the time, yes. 20% of the stuff, you're just like, no, we're not doing that. But if you want to start sharing anything, she could repost everything and all that kind of
Okay,
stuff.
great.
Cause it's 7 days a week. That's all. It brings up, like, would you do a TikTok video? I said, you think I've ever done a TikTok video? You think I have TikTok? She's like, I didn't know. I was like, I'm like a caveman when it comes to stuff like that. I'm not gonna go and shoot videos out there. She's like, okay, so I'm never asking you again. But she, 80% is important. We need somebody who wants to put stuff out there. a little bit.
Right, yeah, it's
And come up
true.
with new ideas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, they're only stupid answers, not stupid questions. So you might as well ask them. Sometimes, it'll be a short no.
I had a couple ideas for the event
Mhm,
here as well. So there's the County Mobile Museum,
mhm.
and there's also the Star Spangled Banner National Historic Trail also now has a mobile museum.
Okay.
If you were interested in either of those, I would try to get on their calendar.
Okay.
Is the first one St. Cofa?
Yes,
Okay.
so, and I don't know what their calendar is, so hopefully
No, that's a good idea.
I would just try and get on their calendar, and
That's fine,
also
at the same time, yes, that's what.
they bring resources to you, right? You
Yes.
don't, right, and then bring the staff to run it and they're,
Right.
right, so you're kind of bringing something with
Yeah, that's
not a
good
heavy lift for you all and everything.
And they're just great to work with. They were a part of our Black History celebration and brought out the
Yeah.
mobile museum.
Both, because I
Um,
think the Star Spangled Banner National
This is a
Historic Trail one is
different one.
new.
Yeah,
that's
we haven't
the
seen-
St. Cofa,
St.
St.
Cofa will
Cofa,
be
Yes.
next
Yeah.
month,
Yeah, so,
actually.
And they're both by PG Parks?
no, one is by the National Park Service,
Oh.
So that's the.
Star Spangled Banner National Historic Trail,
okay.
which I'm pretty sure became a National Historic Trail simply, I mean, because of the 200th anniversary, you know,
Oh, yeah.
um,
Is it from the Maryland? That's the Maryland
no, it's National Park Service.
oh, okay.
So. And from what I hear, that they're on the road.
Okay.
So I would just try and get the time. And then if
Okay.
anybody's heard of this musician named Jayla Elise,
Yes, she wrote 2 songs for the Maryland 250th.
yes,
And
she's
has
from
been-
Prince George's
yeah.
County. So I know you're talking about, I remember with the 210th,
Mhm.
you had the choir or the
Right.
handful of students singing. I thought that was really great. But I also know that Jayla Elise is looking to be hired to sing national anthem or other things as well, and has that Prince George's connection, so.
Good call. I met her at the commission meeting, I think 2 weeks ago. in
Oh, okay, yeah,
Hagerstown, And I mentioned
Yeah.
the fireworks event to
Mhm.
her to say, hey, we.
Well,
love
now
to
that you already have
you.
your date, I think
Yeah.
that's right half of the thing. She's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'll check if I'm available, and you're like,
Before she booked.
okay,
up.
it's this day. And then the other things I have starred for, me and maybe our organization is to maybe do work with WAVA and do a capital to Bladensburg bike ride.
Mhm.
And then the other one would be maybe a boat ride,
Yeah.
Oh,
because you can go, so maybe with Anacostia
I mean, that's
Watershed
what
Society.
yeah, that sounds good.
So I can take those two ideas and kind of run with them,
Thanks.
and then report back at the next meeting.
And we are trying to do where you guys come here in December.
We're booked now for December.
Or you booked for?
We're booked now for December in, we're gonna be at, this is Tavern.
Okay,
Oh,
So-
okay, nice.
You're welcome to any of them,
Okay,
and we
okay.
try to do them virtual.
Yeah. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we got lost in the sauce, so.
Absolutely, and I know that happens, so we want to pin that down for December. I think we'll still do our monthly meetings through 2026.
Yeah, so
So
I'll
what
ask,
to do.
let me contact with Valerie to see maybe January, February.
Perfect.
Okay.
And we usually, we can do them here, or we can do them at the
Yeah, we
library.
could do.
We've done it at the library too, so. It's more, it's less, in some cases, less about the location, and if Mayor James, if you want to be there and sort of be the speaker that day, we'll just have to work with your schedule. Usually it's a Friday
Okay.
at 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
That's why I'm trying to get her scheduled down, so, and simple was harder.
It was,
It-
yeah. I was trying to get.
We thought it was easy, but it became hard.
yeah, most things do. So those are the things that I think that I can, report back on, if that's helpful.
Yeah, super helpful. Thank you. All right, well, thank you guys again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll get a date out for the next meeting. So 4 weeks out is October 6th, which is the town elections.
Yeah,
So,
maybe it's a
would you want to
Tuesday.
do that Tuesday at noon, October 7th?
Mayor, does that work for you?
That works, yeah.
Okay.
Let me take the day off afterwards to recover.
Okay.
So, that'll be good.
Okay, so then right now we'll do the 7th, that sounds good.
Sounds good. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Oh,
Thanks,
I have
April. Okay,
another
so you said
agenda to
October
find.
7th